Okay, Chekhov's Fuzzbox. They started out as a set of teenagers dicking around. I'm sure every article points out how they formed on the very same day they did their first gig. It was kind of just a joke, and then by their second gig they were signed. And that spontaneity and that adolescent vigor comes through in the music. It's amateurish, they barely know how to play their instruments at this point, and that's kind of the charm. In an age of very garish music, they were playing some real simple punk. It was real stripped down to often just the drums and bass and two vocalists. Which band member took which instrument for which song varied between them. And with that immediacy comes some real honest and urgent punk. Yeah, punk in 1986. Though there's an obvious reference point in the aesthetic of this called XX X-ray specs. I feel the girl gang nature and the humorous mischief of Fuzzbox gives them an independent identity. So that's an important, bracing debut album in this dual case with a lot of extra tracks on the second disc, but it's mainly about that stuff. This is feminist punk and it combines politics and emotions real well. By the second album, they'd had a massive, I'm gonna say label-mandated makeover to, their visuals and their sound, their whole aesthetic. You can basically call this 100% selling out. They even learned to play their instruments. And yet, that doesn't turn out to be a bad thing. They happen to be good in this form too. You can barely recognize the punk band in here, but you can just about see them in the charm of youth to this. This has one of the best Jerry Anderson's Thunderbirds themed songs I've heard. It's a great example of 80s stadium rock. I put this on the other day and thought, oh shit, I'm gonna have to rank the buttered up sellout version above the wild punk rock record. And then actually I put this on and thought, nah, I do prefer this. Oh yeah, they'd started on a third album and it had a great single, but the rest of it is their loss, our loss. And then a lot of years have passed and one of the band members has passed and the lineup has been replaced a bit. But there was a surprise new release, which is one of those like best of reimagined things. There's a range of approaches here. Track 1, you think, oh, they're reinterpreting their own songs. And then track 2, maybe they're remixing their own songs. Then there's some what has to be really early recordings. 2 X-ray specs covers. This is a strange compilation, and I can't pretend it compares to the 2 canonical albums, but I'll put it on occasionally. There is an actual best-of compilation with a tasteful cover, but when it's a best-of 2 albums, just get the 2 albums. So there you go, that's an example of a band being really genuine to their roots as just a gang of punk rock schoolgirls, and then completely betraying that for their corporate overlords, but happening to do that just as well anyway. I've got this footage and I'm gonna use it.